choose earlier because for whatever reason the capture card stopped working at points and we had to like replug it and so on. But in theory, yes, nest with gems nowadays is pretty easy to set up.
Looks like we got into the matches right away. We have Tolstoj Kanto playing. Tolstoj is now French.
No, you mean Kanto's now Lokenze. Earlier we had Tugis for it, now we have Lokenze's side head.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a bit cramped down there, and the way the cameras are set up, you can see it on Lokenze's left. You have the black camera, and that's what we use. So
I don't remember what was the setup that was used, but I think the camera should have been between the players.
Yeah, that would have been in some ways better, but then it would have been easier to throw them over. There's no perfect setup when you have a bit of a cramped space. Yeah, so in the upper match, Tolstoj and Kanto are currently playing. Tolstoj having a bit advantage here of having played 5 lines more than Kanto. In the bottom match, Phloxae is now open and can soon go for the next Tetris. But Lokenze is striking back here, having 13 lines left only. Next Tetris here now going to Phloxae. Phloxae Violet now only having 12 lines to play. So quite close in that regards down there. Next Tetris here to Lokenze. Next W to Phloxae. 9 lines and 9 lines to go. So here have Phloxae. Phloxae at 6 lines at 2 lines left. So if I would personally just say, yeah, and that's it. Phloxae takes game number 1. And the upper match, Tolstoj didn't get the pieces to where they need to be topping out. And that means Kanto takes game 1. So we have 1-0 Phloxae, we have 1-0 Kanto.
Yeah. Right side so far, Tolstoj remains being French.
Yes. I mean, who doesn't know the French?
Yeah, we have had a situation where like the Swedes become French today throughout the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's why it's called CTWC France, because we all migrate our the country where we live.
Yeah. So Lokenze, yeah, looks like players are getting ready. Looks like Phloxae is having some comments on her console.
Yeah, could be. Looks like batteries. No.
No, he's swapping. No. Yeah, she's swapping consoles. Looks like.
Okay. Yeah, that makes some sense. Maybe the D-pad had some issues.
Yeah, I don't know which one was she using, because there's the clear orange Game Boy Color. That one looks nice because it has like a backlit screen, but unfortunately the D-pad is busted, and if you push down, it becomes pretty difficult to play.
Yeah, that's not too good.
Yeah, it kind of chips it. But I had definitely issue with that yellow Game Boy Color, so I mean, I know that they can be hard to work with, but what we know here is that at the top we got Tolstoj and Kanto on their second game. Kanto already have taken one, and looks like Kanto's going after a classic right well.
Yeah, again, in the single player mode, it makes sense due to how the garbage is. Let's see what the garbage does fall down. It actually is cut 10, so Kanto played correctly here.
Like, is there a way to know which well are you getting? Oh, no!
You have like a 20% chance of guessing, basically. That's it. But Kanto, I believe, is out at this point. He can't get anything over there, I believe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, especially now. So Kanto is out. He's just sorting a bit of time, and Tolstoj takes game number 2.
Yeah, that team misdrop was pretty rough for Kanto.
Yeah. So on the bottom we have still, of course, the 1-0 for Phloxae. So whenever they start game number 2, that will continue to be the case.
So
upper match has started game number 3 now. So let's see if Kanto or Tolstoj will get the advantage here.
Yes. Also, he's building pretty quickly. He's going for a Tetris. No, he has to go for a triple, maybe to get the lines that he wants, the well that he wants to use. He's set up there for that.
Wow, is that such a huge delay on the webcams? You know, Tolstoj just looked a bit over at the screen, like what felt like a minute after he sent the garbage to Kanto. Oh. I believe that was him trying to scout where the garbage will be. Kanto also really high here and topping out once again. So we have Kanto losing game 3 and Tolstoj taking game number 2. In the bottom we have the garbage in column 8. And Phloxae in a nice position. Lokenze still needs to open it up, so there's gonna be a bit of burning here on Lokenze's side.
Yeah, things are looking...
Lokenze now opened again.
Yeah, Lokenze trying to take a game from Phloxae, but he needs a Lombard that is yet to come. Ooh, this is not looking good for Phloxae.
I mean, if Lokenze does get the bar, but not in time, that's a top
you
Lokenze.
cannot hope for a bar in Game Boy Tetris.
You can't hope. At a certain point, that is quite early, you have to go for like double and triple burns, basically.
Yeah, but you cannot hope for the Lombard. You have to plan around the...
You have to play about the bar, around the bar, never ever falling down. There's like a too high chance of that happening. The bar not coming, I mean. Okay, so now we have started the next game here between Phloxae and Tolstoj. Kanto also coming out once again, which I believe means that Tolstoj wins the match and advances to the quarterfinals.
That was pretty quick.
Is gonna face against Lokenze or Phloxae, depending on who is winning there. And currently looks like Phloxae, also known as Violet, is winning.
No, right now, we're still... No, Tolstoj is still one game away.
It's only 3-1. Okay.
Yeah, it's game 4, now game 5 happening. Tolstoj is at match point.
Yeah, I apologize, I thought it was already over. It looked like it based on the hearts.
Yeah, they have had the longer game, so that's why... They have gone quite fast compared to the bottom players.
Yeah.
What was Dan versus Tugi? Dan was able to sweep Tugi.
4-0 for Dan.
Or
Okay, bottom match, we're getting closer to the end. 11 and 16 lines. Phloxae getting the nice big bar. Very good here. Taking a few burns here now to have an open well. 9 lines to go and 5 lines to go. Well, coming to close here. Phloxae's side is opened once again. 7 lines to go. Yeah, but that's 2 lines to go on Lokenze's side. Lokenze does take the last 2 lines, and that means Lokenze may start striking back here and has the momentum. Let's see. Tolstoj 9 lines to go. Kanto 5 lines, 11 lines to go. Now 5 lines here for Tolstoj after this Tetris. Also, we're gonna have a Tetris here for Kanto. Kanto 6 lines, and that's the just 1 line to go, and that means now Tolstoj does actually win against Kanto.
Yes, the match is over at the top. We might have a demonstration soon for Lokenze and Phloxae coming up. So let's have a look here. It's early game.
Yeah, so here we currently have Lokenze and Phloxae being quite early on. Phloxae is able to send a bit of garbage over again. That's 2 lines going to Lokenze. And Phloxae being able to go for the well. Yes. And you can just see, you go for safety triples just in case the bar doesn't come in the next 20 pieces, which is reasonably likely.
Yeah. I read up like on Game Boy RNG, and it's a mess. Because it's not procedurally generated, but rather it's like pretty much fixed in a way.
Yes, so the way it also Phloxae tops out, the way it works in versus mode is when you start, like Mario Pressures start, all of the pieces get generated and sent over to the second player. So basically, once you start the game, everything is preset. So the games, the pieces, the garbage, all of that is set.
I mean, I suppose it's not as bad as Dr. Mario, where you get 128 pieces and they just repeat over and over.
Yeah. I mean, here the logic basically is, when you've sent everything over, you don't need to synchronize the information all the time, so it's somewhat easier in that regards, because you do it once and never again. If you did it like for every single piece, I guess it would be a bit tougher to stay synchronized in terms of the pieces.
Right. Okay, looks like Lokenze is building pretty high here.
But being high is not necessarily bad when you have an open well.
Right.
Because then you can just send a small missile on Phloxae's side. Because if you have like an open well, you can just send pieces over and over again.
Yeah, now Phloxae might be in trouble if she doesn't get the right piece to open that. A T will help.
And the issue is being closed here. Okay, it's now opened once again. Going for the double, no sees the bar, and going for the Tetris here. 13 lines and 11 lines to Lokenze's side remaining.
Yeah.
Okay, double here, so it's 9 and 11. Lokenze once 2 bars. Here's the first for Lokenze. So just 4 lines remaining. And there's
Yeah, look at
3
the
and
long bar.
7. This should be game number 3 here for Lokenze. Let's see. But oh, actually, missed off that piece on Phloxae's side. 3 lines.
Oh, the
and
missed up
Lokenze
square.
can't get the bar over. So there's 2 lines and 3 lines to play. But Lokenze is far too high. This is the top out for Lokenze. And Phloxae actually does take the game after a bit of a misplacement of that 1 piece earlier on Lokenze's side. Looked like Lokenze was guaranteed to win, but the piece, the Tetris by Phloxae just pushed the board. Lokenze hang, and looks like that's gonna be match for
Was it match
Phloxae
point?
Violet. I thought it was only game
Yeah,
3 for Phloxae.
Yeah, I think that's, like, it's gonna be game number 5. We're having a game number 6, if I'm mistaken.
I believe it was only game number 5, next is game number 6.
Yeah,
But let's see what they are doing downstairs.
They have corrected.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that corrected it. Good, good. So there's still at least 1 game remaining between these 2 players.
This is match point.
Lokenze here now going for 20. Well, at 29 lines, Phloxae at 28. And Phloxae actually able to go for the Tetris well here. Perfect.
If she gets the one.
Yeah, I mean, she's going for the well. It doesn't mean that she gets the Tetris.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, you know, going for the
There she
safeties here.
goes.
Again, not trying to
Actually,
play
look
too
at me got it
aggressive.
first.
Yeah. So Lokenze and Phloxae are now the same pieces. Phloxae has a bit less garbage and is a bit higher on the stack. Now it should, yeah, we can see the next garbage here by Lokenze being set. Missed off the bar on Phloxae's side. This could potentially be it. Closing the well here, not what you wanna do. Let's see if she can open it up again. Doesn't look like it. Close the well even more, and this should mean that we have game number 6 for Lokenze and the match point. But it's not yet over, it's only over now, and that means next up, match point between Lokenze and Phloxae. And we can see the players the viewers being excited that we will have a decider.
Okay, let's see. This is the very last game of the top 16 round. Which should be round 2 or just keeping score. Lokenze is then up on column 3, which isn't the wisest thing, but I don't know if he's aware of the particularities of this mode.
I believe not, but we will see. Of course, that was going to Lokenze, so pushing on Phloxae's stack a bit. Lokenze needs to, well, normally needs to get to column 4 here, but there's so little garbage sent by Phloxae that it kinda doesn't matter at this point. Phloxae closes into a bar dependency, opens using a double here. Next Tetris by Lokenze, so Phloxae really high, but does get their own next Tetris. And we also just saw that the left side of the board was pushed over the height of the board. That can happen in Game Boy Tetris.
Yeah.
Lokenze really high in the stack, doesn't get pieces, and that's a top out for Lokenze. Phloxae takes game number 7 and advances to the top 8, the quarterfinals, where she will face Tolstoj next.
Minor duplication glitch.
That can happen also. So, you know, in NES Tetris, nothing can get over the highest point of the field. But in Game Boy Tetris,
on the sides you can. Yes, there are some particularities when you can just.
yeah, okay, let's say it's not really designed to go above that. But in Game Boy Tetris, when you get garbage, it can push higher and higher and higher. So in theory, you could get like endlessly high sides. Not in reality, but in theory, you know. That's how sometimes you have like really high sides. So you get like a Tetris and it's still at the top. That could happen. And due to that, there's also like a minor duplication glitch that Nels was mentioned, though I don't know the specifics of that one.